With Catherine beside him, our new Prince and Princess of Wales will, I know, continue to inspire and lead our national conversations, helping to bring the marginal to the center ground.
There's a journey that Kate Middleton has been walking, one that's touched the hearts of millions. But what happened today is truly heartbreaking. Just when we thought things were looking up, the news that's come out has shaken royal fans. Everywhere, people can't stop asking, is she okay? If you haven't heard yet, let me take you through what's been unfolding, step by step, and what's got everyone so worried. On January 16, 2024, the palace shared a brief statement. They mentioned a planned abdominal procedure, and the words they used felt so cold. Terms like non-cancerous condition didn't really tell us anything. There were no photos, no updates, no sign of Kate for weeks. For someone as public as her, this silence felt so out of place. The royal family has always been private, but this time, something felt different. Behind those palace doors, the atmosphere was tense. Insiders said it was unusually quiet, serious even. You could feel that something bigger was going on, but no one was speaking up. As time went on, people began to worry. Kate missed major events, like Commonwealth Day and Easter. Prince William started showing up alone, looking tired, his smile not quite reaching his eyes. Then, he missed the funeral of King Constantine, a close family friend. That's when the worry really hit a peak. Reporters, usually known for keeping quiet, began asking questions. But still, the palace kept silent. The silence itself was almost worse than not knowing anything at all. Rumors started swirling on social media, some far-fetched, others a bit more plausible. But still, no one knew the truth. The longer the silence stretched, the more it felt unbearable. And then, on March 22, 2024, after what felt like an eternity, the world finally heard from Kate herself. In a quiet video message, sitting on a wooden bench surrounded by flowers, she spoke in a calm voice, but her eyes, they told a different story. With quiet strength, she shared the news no one was expecting. Tests had found cancer. She didn't sugarcoat it. She said it simply, directly. The shock hit hard. But Kate's words were clear. She had started preventive chemotherapy. "I'm getting stronger every day," she said, speaking not as a royal figure, but as a wife, a mother, and a woman facing a tremendous challenge. She thanked people for their support and asked for privacy, especially for her children. There were no grand speeches, no royal formalities. It was just Kate, being real and vulnerable. Her message was a raw, emotional moment for so many. It was personal, and it felt like we were hearing from someone we knew, not just a public figure. The news was hard, yes, but it also brought some clarity. Still, there were questions. Why had the palace waited so long to tell the truth? Why had they kept everyone in the dark? It wasn't just the public who was caught off guard. Even Prince William didn't know about the cancer until weeks after the surgery. The royal family, it seemed, was caught in a storm they didn't expect. And then, to make things even more complicated, King Charles was also battling cancer. For the first time, both the future queen and the reigning king were facing their own serious health battles. It was a reminder that no matter how high up you are, life can still bring pain, fear, and uncertainty. Kate's courageous announcement was a turning point. But the hardest part of her journey was still to come. As summer 2024 rolled around, Kate disappeared from the public eye. No events, no charity visits. Her only focus was healing, being with her children, and finding strength. The treatment was tough. Sources said she was often tired, dealing with nausea, and even losing her hair. But through it all, she remained resolute. She didn't want the world to see her like that, and yet, even in the silence, she found ways to care for others. She wrote letters to patients, read bedtime stories to her children. Her husband, Prince William, carried on his duties, but it was clear it was weighing on him. He too was tired physically and emotionally. In August, an outdated palace schedule accidentally leaked, showing a possible return date for Kate. The palace quickly took it down, but the damage was done. Everyone was left wondering, when would Kate return? Would she return? As summer faded, the world waited, holding its breath for any sign of hope. And finally, in September 2024, the palace gave the update we had all been praying for. Kate had completed her chemotherapy. The message was brief, but filled with hope. She was getting stronger each day, and just like that, the weight of months of silence seemed to lift, if only a little. Soon after, Kate made her first public appearance, though it wasn't a grand event. She visited a local hospice, quietly, in a moment that spoke volumes. It wasn't about the crowds or the cameras. It was about a woman, a mother, and a royal, taking a step forward in her journey. And so, the story continues. Kate's journey is not just about illness. It's about resilience, strength, and the courage to face the hardest moments in life. It's a reminder to all of us that even the people we admire most have their struggles, and they face them not as titles or roles, but as human beings, and that's the part that connects us all no matter where we come from or what we face in our own lives. Kate Middleton's return to the public eye has been a journey full of grace and strength. When she first stepped out after her health struggles, there was a subtle calm about her. Her smile, though gentle, carried a quiet strength, a reminder that she wasn't rushing her recovery. Every step she took, every appearance, was deliberate, measured, and full of care. But it wasn't easy. Her return wasn't a smooth ride. It was going to take time, and even more hurdles lay ahead. By January 2025, a huge sigh of relief echoed across the world when the palace confirmed that Kate was in remission. It was the news everyone had been hoping for, a turning point in her health and her gradual return to royal duties. However, even after remission, Kate didn't just jump back into her royal life. Every outing she made was carefully planned and required weeks of preparation. Her team, working closely with her doctors, ensured she was physically and emotionally ready for each event. In March 2025, Kate made her first public appearance at the Commonwealth Day service. The world watched as she stood by Prince William at Westminster Abbey, an image of strength, quiet yet powerful. Later that year, in June, she made another appearance at the Garter Day ceremony. These moments, though brief no more than 45 minutes, each spoke volumes. They weren't just appearances. They were signs of healing, of resilience, and of a woman who had faced down her fears and was finding her way back, step by step. But just when it seemed like Kate was on a steady path back to public life, another bump emerged. At Royal Ascot, in June 2025, excitement surged when the program listed Kate's name as part of the carriage procession. But the next day, the palace announced she wouldn't be attending, citing an administrative error. The news quickly turned into a public relations crisis. Questions arose. How could such a mistake happen with such a high-profile event? Was Kate not ready? The silence and confusion that followed reopened old doubts and conspiracy theories. It was a moment of crisis for the palace. Revealing how fragile public trust could be, the situation reminded everyone how unpredictable public faith can be. People were looking for transparency, for clarity, not vague statements and sudden changes. The mishap at Royal Ascot was more than just a miscommunication. It was a crack in the royal image that had been carefully rebuilt over time. Since Kate's remission in January 2025, the royal family and the public have watched closely. Her recovery has not been without its struggles. Though she was cancer-free, she still faced physical challenges. Her appearance at events was carefully planned. She had lost weight, and her energy was lower than before. Every public outing required recovery time afterward, and her new life routine revolved around her health. Gone were the spontaneous walkabouts and surprise visits. Each decision was made with her well-being in mind. Kate's royal role is no longer the same. While she still cares deeply about her work, her health now comes first. Some long-term projects, like her early childhood initiative, have been paused or handed off. The palace has adapted to this new reality where every decision revolves around how she feels. If she's not well enough, she stays home. Her journey has also revealed deeper cracks in the royal family's structure. With Kate absent for much of 2024 and early 2025, Prince William has taken on many duties alone. While his respect remains high, the absence of Kate's warmth and charm has been felt deeply. Inside the palace, it's become clear that Kate's presence had been a crucial part of the monarchy's public image. She was seen as a bridge to younger generations, her style, her projects, and her personality connecting her to people aged 18 to 35. Her absence has left a noticeable gap in that connection, and her popularity in that age group has far surpassed anyone else in the family. Since then, both Prince William's popularity and overall support for the monarchy, especially among younger people, have seen a slight decline. Kate's story is not just about illness and recovery. It's a reflection of the personal strength, vulnerability, and resilience that shapes her public and private life. Through all the silence, the mistakes, the struggles, and the triumphs, one thing has remained clear. Kate Middleton, in her new reality, is not just a royal. She's a survivor, finding a way to balance duty with healing. Her journey reminds us that even those who seem untouchable are still deeply human, facing their own battles, their own challenges, and their own moments of vulnerability. The past year has turned the spotlight on the royal family in ways no one could have predicted. And Kate Middleton's illness has played a significant part in that shift. Her health struggles, combined with the palace's silence, have led to louder calls for change. Republican movements in countries like Australia and Jamaica have seized upon the palace's handling of events, using it as proof that the institution is no longer as relevant as it once was. This moment has peeled back the curtain on the human side of the royal family, revealing just how fragile even the most public of figures can be. For Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, the emotional toll of their mother's prolonged absence was undeniable. With Kate out of sight for so long, their world at home changed drastically. Prince William, ever the devoted father, had to balance his royal responsibilities with the hands-on care of his 3 young children. School runs, bedtime stories, and offering comfort during these uncertain times became as much a part of his day as any royal duty. Yet this was no easy feat, and William himself acknowledged the immense personal weight, admitting that 2024 had probably been the hardest year of his life. In a rare moment of openness, this simple statement gave us a glimpse into the royal family's private struggles, a rare break from the stoic facade they usually maintain. Kate's decision to step back and focus solely on her recovery was a monumental shift for the royal family. For many, it was a breath of fresh air as she broke from tradition in a way that felt deeply human. By putting her health and family first, she showed the world that even royals are entitled to rest, heal, and recover without the constant pressure of public appearances. This unprecedented move, however, did not come without its challenges. The monarchy is built on visibility, stability, and routine, and Kate's absence left the palace in uncharted waters. Throughout her battle, Kate's health remained the top priority. Her approach was clear. Her well-being would always come before any royal engagement. This shift in focus could change the future of the royal family, especially when it comes to how they handle illness, mental health, and the immense pressures of duty. In the midst of these unprecedented times, the world continued to watch with bated breath. Wondering how the royal family would adapt to this new reality, the media and public response to Kate's health journey has only highlighted the growing expectations for transparency. The silence from Kensington Palace in the early stages of her illness only fueled confusion and concern. In a survey from early 2025, 61% of the public expressed the desire for more clarity and consistent updates on her condition. Between Kate's right to privacy and the public's desire for answers has never been clearer. As the world becomes more connected through social media and constant updates, the old norm of deference to royal privacy simply doesn't work anymore. People don't want vague statements. They want to know that Kate is okay. The emotional connection people feel towards Kate is undeniable. She's no longer just a royal figurehead. She's a person with struggles, hopes, and dreams. Her journey has made the public realize that behind the crown, there is a real human being. The demand for more information is a reflection of a wider societal shift. People want to see royals who are relatable, honest, and authentic. And as the monarchy navigates these waters, the question now is whether tradition and vulnerability can exist side by side. Looking ahead, several possible paths could unfold. Kate may make a full recovery and return stronger than ever, with her resilience becoming a defining part of her legacy. Or she may choose to step back permanently, reshaping her role as a future queen consort. Another possibility is a more flexible approach, where Kate makes public appearances only when her health allows, without any set commitments. Her team is already working behind the scenes to manage her schedule, and preparations for late 2025 are underway to ensure smooth transitions. One thing is clear: the monarchy is in the midst of a transformation. Kate's health-first approach could become the model for how the royal family handles future challenges. Focusing more on authenticity and less on performance, the old expectations of perfection may give way to a more human approach, one that prioritizes the well-being of individuals. As Republican sentiment grows in parts of the Commonwealth, the monarchy now faces the challenge of balancing tradition with the need for modernity. The world is watching closely, waiting to see whether the royal family can evolve and maintain the relevance it once held. Kate's story is far from over, and the world waits with hope and concern, eager to see where her journey will lead next. If you've been touched by Kate's story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on her journey and other royal family stories.